Amma, I'm so sorry. Please go.
AMBW screamed through another contraction, her hand crushing Minjun Choi's, even though his hands were cuffed to the hospital bed rail. The FBI agent stood in the corner, arms crossed, waiting. Last chance, Ms. Darko. Testify against him. Immunity granted. Your brother walks free. You walk free. Stay silent. You go to prison with him. Your baby goes to state custody. 30 seconds. Choose. Minjun's voice was low, dangerous even now. Don't do it, Amma. We survive this together, or not at all. She looked at the man she loved. The man who'd destroyed her life. The man whose baby was ripping through her body right now while federal agents watched like vultures. Her water had broken 3 hours ago. Contractions were 90 seconds apart, and in the next breath she had to choose freedom without him or prison with him. I need an answer, Ms. Darko. The agent's voice was ice. Now! Amma opened her mouth. The words that would either save her or damn her forever were right there. Lovies, welcome to Afro-Seoul TV, where we don't do safe love stories. We do the kind that destroys everything. You just watched Amma about to make a choice that will either save her or send her to prison while she's literally in labor. If you're already hooked, if you need to know how a Ghanaian grad student ended up here with a Korean crime lord's baby and the FBI as witnesses, hit that subscribe button right now. Because I'm about to take you back 3 days to where it all started. To the moment Amma made the worst decision of her life. Between two worlds, beyond all borders, this is where real stories burn. Now let's rewind. 3 days earlier. San Francisco. The Chrysanthemum Room didn't advertise. Didn't need to. If you knew about it, you had money. If you had money in San Francisco's underground, you answered to one man. And tonight, Amma was about to meet him. She stood outside the restaurant in the financial district, her reflection staring back from the glass doors. Black dress, heels she couldn't afford, hair pulled back so tight it hurt. She looked confident, felt like she was drowning. Her phone buzzed, text from Kofi, her baby brother. Amma, please don't do this. I'll figure something else out. Please. She typed back. Too late. I'm going in. I love you. Then she pushed through those doors into a world that would swallow her whole. The hostess was Korean, beautiful, cold. Reservation. AMBW for Mr. Choi. The woman's expression flickered. Surprise. Maybe pity. 3rd floor, private elevator. He's expecting you. The elevator was glass and chrome and quiet as a grave. Amma watched San Francisco drop away beneath her feet and wondered if this was what falling felt like. When the doors opened, a man the size of a truck was waiting. Ms. Darko, this way. He led her down a hallway lined with private dining rooms. Through the walls, she heard laughter, clinking glasses, the sound of people who'd never worried about $50,000 in their lives. People who'd never watched their baby brother get his ribs broken because he couldn't pay a debt. The guard stopped at a door, knocked twice, opened it. Mr. Choi, Miss Darko is here. Send her in. That voice, deep, controlled, the kind of voice that didn't ask twice. Amma stepped inside. The room was all dark wood and soft lighting, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city, a table set for two with food that probably cost more than her rent. And standing by the window back to her was Minjun Choi. He turned. Amma's breath caught. He was taller than she'd imagined. 6'1", maybe more. Lean but built, the kind of body that came from discipline, not gyms. Sharp jaw, dark eyes that looked black in the low light. Expensive suit that probably cost more than her car. He was younger than she'd expected, mid-30s, and more beautiful than any man who did what he did had a right to be. AMBW. He said her name like he was tasting it. Sit. I'd rather stand. His mouth curved. Not quite a smile. Would you rather your brother keep all his teeth? Sit. She sat, Min-jun moved to the table, poured wine into 2 glasses. Handed her one. Chateau Margaux, 2015, $3,000 a bottle. Drink. I don't. You do tonight. He sat across from her. Because in about 5 minutes I'm going to make you an offer that will either save your brother's life or end yours. And you'll want the wine for it. Amma's hands shook. She drank. The wine tasted like money and blood. Do you know why you're here? Min-jun's eyes never left hers. My brother owes you $50,000. He can't pay. You've been breaking him piece by piece. I'm here to negotiate. Negotiate. He leaned back. What do you have that I want? I don't know. That's why I'm asking. Wrong. He pulled out a folder, slid it across the table. Open it. Inside were photos. Of her, hundreds of them. Walking to class at Berkeley, at the Korean cafe where she works Saturdays, at the library, at her apartment. 3 months of surveillance. Her blood ran cold. You've been following me. Watching you. He sipped his wine. There's a difference. Following suggests I was hiding. I wasn't. I wanted to see who Kofi Darko's sister was, the one working 3 jobs to put herself through grad school, the one with a master's in international finance, the one who wrote her thesis on detecting money laundering in global markets. His smile was sharp now, dangerous, the one who's exactly what I need. I don't understand. Amma pushed the folder away. What do you want from me? 6 months. Min-jun stood, walked around the table, stopped behind her chair. Close enough she could smell his cologne, expensive, masculine, dangerous. Work for me. Help me restructure my operations. I'm trying to go legitimate. Real estate, import-export, clean business. But the transition requires someone who understands both sides. Someone who can track dirty money and make it clean. His hand came to her shoulder. She flinched. He didn't move it. Do this, and your brother's debt disappears, plus $200,000 cash. You want me to help you launder money? I want you to help me stop laundering money. There's a difference. He moved around to face her. I'm trying to get out, Amma. The business my father built, it's killing me. I want legitimacy. I want clean. I want out, but I can't do it without someone like you. Why should I trust you? You shouldn't. He pulled out his phone, showed her a video. Kofi, tied to a chair in some warehouse, face swollen, ribs wrapped, 2 men standing over him with baseball bats. The timestamp was from this morning. But you'll do it anyway. Because if you don't, this video continues, and your brother doesn't walk out of that warehouse. Amma's vision blurred. You're a monster. Yes. He pocketed the phone. But I'm a monster offering you a way out. Take it or don't. You have 10 seconds to decide. That's not enough time. 10, 9, 8. I need to think. 7, 6, 5. Please. 4, 3, 2. Fine. The word exploded out of her. Fine, I'll do it. 6 months. Then Kofi goes free. Min-jun smiled. Good choice. He pulled a contract from his jacket, set it on the table. Sign. Amma read it. 6 months. Consulting services. 200,000 payment. Kofi's debt forgiven. A confidentiality clause. A non-disclosure agreement. And one line that made her stomach drop. Employee agrees to be available at all times for duration of contract. What does this mean? Available at all times? It means you live where I tell you. Work when I tell you. Go where I tell you. His expression was unreadable. It means for 6 months, Amma Darko, you belong to me. I'm not property. No, you're an employee. A very well-paid employee who's saving her brother's life. He handed her a pen. Sign it, or walk away and watch him die tonight. Amma's hand shook. She signed. Min-jun signed. Then he pulled out his phone, made a call in Korean. 30 seconds later, her phone rang. Video call. Kofi. Alive. Breathing. The men with bats were gone. "Amma?" Her brother's voice cracked. "What did you do?" "What I had to." She was crying now, couldn't help it. "You're safe. That's all that matters." "No, not if you—" The call ended. Amma looked at Min Jun through tears. "Can I go home now? Pack?" "No need. Everything you need is already at your new apartment." "New apartment?" "You'll be staying in my building. Penthouse floor. Secure. Safe." He moved to the door. "My driver will take you now." "Wait, I didn't agree to—" "You signed the contract, available at all times. That starts now." He opened the door. "Welcome to my world, Amma. Try not to drown in it." The guard from earlier appeared. "Ms. Darko, this way." "No." Amma stood. "I'm not going anywhere until you tell me what I'm really agreeing to." Min Jun turned back, looked at her with something that might have been respect or hunger. "You're agreeing to help me become legitimate. You're agreeing to save your brother. You're agreeing to make more money than you've ever seen." He stepped closer. "And you're agreeing to belong to me, not sexually, not romantically, but completely. For 6 months, your life is mine. Your time is mine. Your brilliant mind is mine." His hand came to her face. She should have pulled away. Didn't. "And if somewhere in those 6 months you decide you want more than a business arrangement?" His thumb brushed her bottom lip. "Well, we'll deal with that when it happens." "That won't happen." "We'll see." He stepped back. "Go with Marcus. He'll show you to your apartment. Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. we start. Sleep well, Amma. Tomorrow you'll see exactly what you've agreed to." She walked out on legs that didn't feel like hers. The elevator, the car, the drive through San Francisco to a building that screamed money, the penthouse that looked like a magazine. All of it felt like a dream, a nightmare. Her phone buzzed. Unknown number. "You made the right choice. Kofi is safe, you're safe. And tomorrow, we begin. But know this, Amma. I didn't choose you just for your skills. I chose you because 3 months ago I saw you at that cafe, laughing at something on your phone, and I thought, I've never wanted anything I couldn't buy or take. Until her. Sleep well. Tomorrow, everything changes. MJ." Amma stood in that penthouse overlooking a city built on secrets and money and blood, and realized she'd just sold herself to a man who looked at her like she was the answer to a question he'd been asking his whole life. 6 months. She just had to survive 6 months. Then she could walk away, go back to her life. Forget Min Jun Choi and his dark eyes and dangerous smile and the way her heart had hammered when he'd touched her face. 6 months. She could do this. She had to. Amma didn't sleep. She spent the night walking through the penthouse like a ghost, touching furniture that cost more than her education, staring at art she recognized from textbooks, standing at floor-to-ceiling windows watching San Francisco's lights blur through her exhausted tears. At 3 a.m. she finally collapsed on the bed, California king, sheets that felt like silk, pillows so soft they should have been illegal, and dreamed of her brother's broken face and Min Jun's hands on hers and the contract she'd signed in blood that wasn't blood, but felt like it anyway. Her phone alarm screamed at 7 a.m. She dragged herself to the bathroom and stopped dead. The closet, the walk-in closet bigger than her old apartment's bedroom, was full. Designer clothes. Her size exactly. Dresses, slacks, blouses, shoes lined up like soldiers. All professional, all expensive. All chosen by someone who'd been watching her long enough to know her measurements. On the counter, makeup. High-end. Her shades. Skin care, products she'd looked at in stores but never bought because $60 for moisturizer was insane when you had student loans. A note in sharp handwriting. Dress professionally. Driver arrives at 7:45. Don't be late. I hate waiting. MJ. Amma wanted to burn it all, wanted to walk out wearing her own clothes, her own identity, prove she wasn't his doll to dress up. But Kofi's face flashed through her mind. And she put on the clothes. Black slacks, white silk blouse. Blazer that fit like it was made for her, probably was. Heels that added 3 inches and made her feel powerful and trapped all at once. She pulled her hair back, minimal makeup, and stared at her reflection. She looked expensive, successful, like she belonged in Minjeon's world. She hated it. At 7:44, her phone buzzed. Driver downstairs. MJ. The elevator ride down felt like descending into hell. The driver, different man, same brick wall build, opened the door to a black Mercedes. Tinted windows, leather seats, silent as a tomb. They drove through morning San Francisco traffic to a building in Soma she'd passed 100 times, but never entered. All glass and steel and money. The kind of place where people made fortunes and broke lives before lunch. Security guard, key card, private elevator that required a code. The doors opened to the top floor. Min Jun's office was floor-to-ceiling windows on 3 sides. San Francisco Bay spread out like he owned it, which he probably did. Massive desk, leather furniture, screens on the walls showing what looked like stock tickers and security feeds. And standing by the window in a perfectly tailored navy suit, looking like he'd stepped out of a magazine for men who broke laws and hearts in equal measure, was Min Jun. He turned. Those dark eyes raked over her. Slowly, taking in every detail. Good. You clean up well. He gestured to the desk. Sit. We have work to do. Good morning to you too. Amma didn't move. Do you ever say normal things? Like hi? How'd you sleep? I know how you slept. You walked the penthouse until 3 a.m., cried twice, called your brother's disconnected number 4 times, finally collapsed around 3:30. He moved to the desk, pulled up security footage on a screen. Her, in the penthouse. Every room, every moment. Nothing happens in my buildings that I don't see. You watched me all night? Her voice was ice over rage. That's illegal. That's the contract you signed. Available at all times means I know where you are, what you're doing, who you're talking to. He shut off the screen. I protect what's mine. Can't do that if I'm blind. I'm not yours. For 6 months you are. He pulled out a chair. Sit now, or Kofi's protection ends and we start fresh negotiations. She sat. Min Jun handed her a tablet. These are my holdings. Real estate across 5 states. Import-export through Oakland Port. 3 restaurants, 2 nightclubs, a vineyard in Napa. He pulled up financial statements. This is the legitimate side. Clean, legal, taxed properly. Amma scanned the numbers. Impressive. Diverse. Solid. This is good. Why do you need me? Because that's only 40% of my operation. He pulled up different files. Shell companies, offshore accounts, money moving through a dozen countries. This is the other 60%. Drugs, protection, smuggling, money laundering, the business my father built, the business that's been keeping the lights on for 15 years. He looked at her. I want it gone, all of it. Transition everything legitimate. But if I just shut down operations, I lose power. Rivals move in. I'm dead within a month. So you need a controlled burn. Amma's brain, trained for exactly this, was already seeing the patterns. Transition slowly. Keep the power structure. Replace illegal income with legal. Make it look like natural business evolution. Exactly. Something flickered in his eyes. Respect, maybe heat. I knew you'd understand. How long have you been planning this? 5 years. He sat on the edge of the desk, close. Since I took over from my father, he built an empire on blood and fear. I'm trying to build something that won't collapse the second someone stronger comes along. Why? Amma looked up at him. You're making millions. You have power. Why risk changing? Because I'm tired. For 1 second, his mask cracked. Tired of looking over my shoulder. Tired of blood on my hands. Tired of becoming him. He stood abruptly. And because 3 months ago I saw a woman in a cafe who made me want to be better. Want to be the kind of man who could walk up to her without her being terrified. Want to be legitimate enough that maybe... He stopped. Jaw tight. Doesn't matter. Point is, I want out. You're going to help me get there. Amma's heart was doing something stupid, something dangerous. The woman in the cafe. That was me. Yes. You decided to go legitimate because you saw me? I decided to go legitimate 5 years ago. I decided you'd help me do it 3 months ago. He pulled out another file. But this morning I got news that complicates things. He showed her a photo. Korean woman. Mid-30s. Beautiful, expensive suit, standing with a group of men who looked like they could buy cities. Who is she? Ji-woo Park, my second in command. Been with me for 8 years. Brilliant, ruthless, loyal. His expression was unreadable, and furious that I hired you. Why would she care? Because she's in love with me, has been for years. He said it casually, like it was a business problem, not a human emotion. And because her father is on the Korean Mafia council that my father answered to, they're the ones who've been pushing me to marry someone appropriate, someone Korean, someone who fits their world. Let me guess. Ji-woo fits. Perfectly. He pulled up more photos. Korean woman, different one, younger, traditional hanbok in some photos. Western, designer clothes in others. This is Hye Jin-song, daughter of the council's chairman. They've been arranging our marriage since I was 25. I've been putting it off for 11 years. Why? Because I don't love her, don't want to love her, don't want the life that comes with marrying her, locked into this world forever, producing heirs for the council, becoming exactly what my father was. He looked at Amma. And because 3 months ago I saw you and realized I'd been waiting for something. Someone. Different. You're insane. Amma stood. You don't even know me. I know you're brilliant, stubborn, loyal to the point of self-destruction. He moved closer. I know you'd rather die than let your brother suffer. I know you cry when you're scared, but you still show up. I know you taste like champagne and rage and something I can't stop thinking about. You've never tasted me. Not yet. His hand came to her face. But I will. Eventually. When you stop lying to yourself about wanting it too. I don't. The office door slammed open. Ji-woo Park stood there, dressed like she was ready to kill someone, eyes blazing. So it's true. You actually hired her. Ji-woo. Min-jun's voice went cold, professional. Knock before entering. Knock before... Ji-woo's laugh was brittle. I've been running this organization with you for 8 years and you want me to knock? While she looked at Amma like she was examining garbage. While this random nobody gets access to everything. Ms. Darko is a consultant. She's here to... I know what she's here for. I'm not stupid. Ji-woo moved into the room, prowling. You're trying to go legitimate. I've known for months. You think I'm blind. She stopped in front of Amma. What I don't understand is why her? What does she have that I don't? Ji-woo. Min-jun's voice was warning now. Watch it. No. Ji-woo's eyes were wet, but her voice was steel. I deserve an answer. 8 years. 8 years I've stood by you. Bled for you, killed for you, and you bring in some Ghanaian girl with a degree and expect me to just accept it. Yes. Min-jun was beside them now, between them. Because she's not a threat to you professionally. She's here for 6 months. Then she's gone. Your position is secure. That's not what I'm worried about. Ji-woo's voice broke. You know it's not. I know. He softened slightly. But this isn't about that. This is business. Is it? Jiwoo looked at Ama. Or is it because she's exactly what the council hates? Black, foreign, wrong in every way that matters to them? Get out, Jiwoo. You're going to destroy everything. The council won't allow this. Your father's legacy. I don't care about my father's legacy. Min-jun's voice cracked like a whip. I don't care about the council. I don't care about their approval. I care about getting out. That's it. And her? Jiwoo gestured at Ama. What is she? Your exit strategy? Your rebellion? Your way of proving you're not your father? She's my employee. Nothing more. Liar. Jiwoo's smile was poison. You've never looked at me the way you look at her. Never. She headed for the door. Stopped. Fine. I'll work with her. I'll be professional. But know this. The council is already asking questions. They know about her, and they're not pleased. She left. The door didn't slam this time. Worse, it closed with a soft click that sounded like a threat. Ama's hands were shaking. She's going to kill me. No. Min-jun was at the bar cart, pouring whiskey. She's going to try, but she won't succeed. How can you be so calm? I've known Jiwoo for 8 years. She's jealous, she's hurt, she's dangerous. But she's also loyal to the organization. She won't move against you without proof you're a threat. He handed Ama the whiskey. Drink, you look like you need it. She drank. It burned. What if I am a threat? To what? To whatever you have with her, to the council, to your arranged marriage, to... She gestured helplessly. All of this. Then you're exactly the kind of threat I need. He took the glass from her hands. Set it down. Because everything they want me to be, obedient son, perfect heir, married to the right woman, locked into this world forever, I don't want any of it. What do you want? Right now, he was close again. Too close. I want to know if you taste as good as you smell. Min-jun, I want to know if you'll keep looking at me like I'm dangerous when I'm the only thing keeping you alive. I want to know how long you'll keep pretending you don't feel it too. Feel what? This. His hand was on her waist now. The thing that made you shiver when I touched your face last night. The thing that made you put on the clothes I bought, because some part of you wanted to please me. The thing that's terrifying you right now because you know if I kissed you, you wouldn't stop me. Ama's brain was screaming run. Her body wasn't moving. You're my employer. This is inappropriate. This stopped being just business the second I saw you 3 months ago and decided I wanted you in my world. His other hand cupped her face. Tell me you don't feel it. Look me in the eye and lie to me. I dare you. She opened her mouth. The lie wouldn't come. Because he was right. God help her, he was right. She'd felt it last night when he'd touched her face, this morning when she'd put on his clothes. Right now, with him so close, she could feel his heart beat against hers. But before she could speak, before she could make the worst mistake of her life, her phone rang. Kofi's number. The one that had been disconnected. She grabbed it. Kofi. Ama, listen carefully. Her brother's voice was steady now. Scared, but determined. You need to get out of there. Right now. The men who had me, they weren't Min-jun's men. They were working for someone else. Someone who wanted you specifically. This whole thing, your brother's debt, the threat, everything, it was a setup to get you close to him. Ama's blood went cold. What are you talking about? I'm talking about you being bait. They wanted Min-jun to bring you in, wanted you inside his organization. I don't know why, but Ama... Kofi's voice cracked. Get out, now, before they... The line went dead. Ama looked at Min-jun. What did my brother just say? His expression was stone. Put the phone down. Tell me the truth. Was Kofi's debt real? Ama, tell me. Yes and no. He stepped back, ran a hand through his hair. Your brother did gamble at my casino. He did lose money, but the 50,000, that was inflated, enhanced, made worse to create leverage. You manipulated his debt to get to me. I needed you. I couldn't just walk up to you at a cafe and ask you to work for a criminal organization. So yes, I created a situation where you had no choice. He looked at her. I'm not sorry. I needed you. I got you. That's how my world works. You're a monster. I've never claimed to be anything else. And the men who held Kofi, who were they really working for? That... Minjun's jaw tightened. That I don't know, but I'm going to find out. Amma's phone buzzed. Text from unknown number. Ask him about his father's enemies. Ask him why he really wants to go legitimate. Ask him what he's running from, then decide if you want to survive what's coming. A friend. She showed Minjun the text. His face went white, then red, then something worse than anger. Fear. We need to leave. Now. He grabbed her arm. We need to... The office windows exploded. Glass rained down like diamonds. Amma screamed. Minjun pulled her down behind the desk. Gunfire. Automatic. From the building across the street. Stay down! Minjun's gun was out. Where had he been hiding that? Returning fire. Don't move. Through the chaos and screaming and glass cutting her arms, Amma realized 3 things. 1. Someone was trying to kill them. 2. This wasn't random. This was planned. 3. The baby she'd glimpsed in that opening scene, the one being born in a hospital with FBI watching, might never happen at all, because they might both die right here. Right now. Together. Minjun fired 3 more shots through the shattered window, then grabbed Amma's arm and dragged her toward the office door. Glass crunched under her knees. Blood, hers, his, she couldn't tell, slicked the marble floor. Move! He shoved her through the doorway into the hall just as another spray of bullets tore through where they'd been seconds before. The hallway was chaos. Alarms, screaming, his security team running toward the gunfire. Ji-woo appeared from a side office, gun already drawn, face cold and focused. How many shooters? She didn't even look at Amma. At least 3. Coordinated. Professional. Minjun was checking his magazine. North building. Floors 15 through 17. I'll handle it. Ji-woo was already moving, barking orders in Korean to the security team. No, get her out. Minjun pushed Amma toward Ji-woo. Secure location, now. You want me to babysit while I want you to keep her alive. His voice cracked like thunder. That's an order, Ji-woo. Get her to the safe house. I'll deal with this. Ji-woo's eyes flashed with something dark. Rage, jealousy, hurt, but she grabbed Amma's arm. Fine. Come on. No. Amma pulled back. I'm not leaving him. You don't have a choice. Ji-woo's grip was iron. Move or I drag you. Minjun was already heading back toward his office, toward the gunfire, and Amma's last sight of him was his back disappearing into smoke and chaos and the very real possibility she'd never see him alive again. Ji-woo hauled her to a service elevator hidden behind a panel, punched a code. The doors opened to reveal a steel cage that looked more like a panic room than an elevator. Get in. Amma got in. Ji-woo followed. The doors sealed with a hydraulic hiss that sounded like a coffin closing. The descent was silent except for the muffled sounds of gunfire above. Ji-woo stood against the opposite wall, gun still in hand, studying Amma like she was a specimen under glass. You're bleeding. Ji-woo's voice was flat. Amma looked down. Her arms were cut in a dozen places from the glass. Blood soaked through her white blouse. I'll live. Maybe. Ji-woo didn't sound like she cared either way. Or maybe whoever just tried to kill you both succeeds next time. You sound almost hopeful. I'm professional enough not to let personal feelings interfere with my job. The elevator stopped. Underground parking garage. Ji-woo grabbed Amma's arm again. But don't mistake professionalism for friendship. You're a job, that's all. She led Amma to a black SUV with tinted windows, shoved her into the back seat. 2 more security guards appeared, huge men, armed, silent. 1 drove, 1 rode shotgun. Ji-woo got in back with Amma. Where are we going? Safe house, Richmond District. Ji-woo was texting someone rapidly in Korean. We'll wait there until Min-jun clears the threat. And if he doesn't clear it? If he... Amma couldn't say the word. Then you become someone else's problem. Ji-woo pocketed her phone. Looked at Amma with something that might have been pity or contempt. You really don't understand what you walked into, do you? Enlighten me. Min-jun isn't just trying to go legitimate because he's tired. He's trying to go legitimate because his father's enemies are circling. The Russian Bratva wants his territory. The Chinese triads want his port access. Half the Korean Council thinks he's weak for not expanding operations, and the other half thinks he's a traitor for wanting out. Ji-woo's smile was cold. You're caught in the middle of a war you don't even know is happening. Then why did he bring me into it? Because you're his Hail Mary. Ji-woo leaned closer. He thinks if he can go legitimate fast enough, he can get out before the war goes hot. He thinks your brilliant mind can save him. He thinks... She stopped. Jaw tight. He thinks you're worth dying for. I watched him throw himself in front of bullets for you up there. Watched him order me to protect you instead of staying to fight beside him. You want to know why I hate you? That's why. Because in 8 years, he's never chosen anyone over the mission. Until you. Amma's chest was tight. I didn't ask for this. None of us do, but here we are. The SUV stopped. We're here. Stay close. Don't talk. Don't run. The safe house was a renovated Victorian in a quiet residential neighborhood, the kind of place where families lived, not criminals. Inside, it was all reinforced walls and security cameras disguised as smoke detectors. Modern furniture, stocked kitchen, bars on the windows hidden behind plantation shutters. A cage. A beautiful cage. Sit. Ji-woo gestured to the couch. I'll get the first aid kit. She disappeared down a hall. Amma sat, stared at her shaking hands, blood drying on her arms. The cuts stung now that adrenaline was fading. She pulled out her phone. No messages. No missed calls. Was Min-jun alive? Dead? Hurt? Why did she care so much? Ji-woo returned with medical supplies. Sat beside Amma. Give me your arms. I can do it myself. Shut up and give me your arms. Amma held out her arms. Ji-woo cleaned the cuts with alcohol wipes that burned like fire. Her hands were efficient, professional, almost gentle. You really love him, Amma said it quietly. Not a question. Since I was 25. Ji-woo didn't look up from bandaging. I was fresh out of Stanford, MBA, ready to conquer the world. My father introduced me to Min-jun at a council dinner. He was 28, just took over from his father. Brutal, brilliant. So alone it hurt to look at him. She taped down a bandage. I thought, here's someone who needs what I have. Strategy, loyalty, love. Her voice got bitter. But he never looked at me that way. Respected me, trusted me, never loved me. I'm sorry. Don't be. I made my choice. Stayed anyway. Built this organization with him. Became indispensable. Thought maybe someday he'd see me. She moved to the next cut. Then 3 months ago, everything changed. He started distancing himself, making plans I wasn't part of. Smiling at his phone when he thought no one was watching. I knew someone had gotten to him. Then you showed up and I understood. I'm not trying to take anything from you. You already did. The second he saw you. Ji-woo finished bandaging. Stood. You want to know what's really happening here? What no one's telling you? Yes. Your brother's debt was real, but it was also bait. Ji-woo walked to the window. Someone, we don't know who yet, wanted Min-jun to bring you close. Wanted you inside his organization. That text you got. That's them. They're watching. Waiting. Waiting for what? For you to give them access. You're brilliant with international finance. You understand money laundering. You can see patterns in his accounts that even I can't. Ji-woo turned. What if they wanted you here to find something? Or plant something? What if you're not the solution to his problems? You're the problem itself. Amma's blood went cold. You think I'm working with them? I think you're a pawn who doesn't know she's on the board. Ji-woo's phone buzzed. She read the message. Her expression changed. He's alive. Cleared the building. 2 shooters dead. 1 escaped. Relief hit Amma so hard she almost couldn't breathe. When can we go back? We don't. Not until he says it's safe. Ji-woo was texting again. You're staying here. Indefinitely. I can't. I have work, school. You have a contract that says you're available at all times. This is all times. Ji-woo headed for the door. I'm going back to help him clean up. Guards will stay with you. Don't try to leave. Don't answer the door. Don't trust anyone. What about you? Should I trust you? Ji-woo paused. I'm the only one who's being honest with you. Everyone else, Min-jun, the council, whoever's pulling strings, they're all using you. I'm just telling you the truth. She opened the door. Whether you believe it or not is your problem. She left. The door locked from the outside. Electronic, no key. Amma was alone with 2 silent guards and a phone that finally buzzed. Min-jun. You okay? Her fingers flew. Alive. Ji-woo says I'm bait. Says someone wanted you to bring me in. True? Long pause. Then, possibly. Looking into it. Stay put. I'll come to you tonight. Tell me the truth. Am I here to help you or destroy you? Another pause. Longer. Then, I don't know yet. But if you're here to destroy me, Amma, you're doing a good job. I've never been this distracted, this vulnerable, this close to making catastrophic decisions. So maybe Ji-woo's right. Maybe you are the most dangerous person in my life. But I'm not letting you go. Before she could respond, another text from a different number. Ask him about his father's real cause of death. Ask him why the council really wants him married. Ask him what happened to the last woman who got too close. Then decide if you want to end up like her. A friend. Amma's hands shook. She typed back, Who are you? Someone who knows what Min-jun Choi does to women who see too much. Check the news. Rebecca Martinez, Stanford grad student, international finance. Brilliant, beautiful, worked for him 2 years ago. Dead within 3 months. Officially? Car accident? Unofficially? Ask him. A friend. Amma searched the name on her phone. Rebecca Martinez, 26, Stanford. Dead in a single-car crash on Highway 1. No witnesses. Closed case. And in one photo from her LinkedIn profile, she was standing at a charity event next to Min-jun, his hand on her back, both of them smiling. Amma's stomach dropped. She texted Min-jun. Who was Rebecca Martinez? This time, the pause was so long she thought he wouldn't respond. Finally, how do you know that name? Answer the question. Not over text. Tonight. I'll explain everything tonight. But Amma, don't believe everything you hear. Someone's trying to turn you against me. Did you kill her? No, but I failed to protect her, and she died because of me. Because she got too close. Saw too much. Became a target. Another message. That's why I'm trying so hard to keep you safe. Why I have you locked in that safe house. Why I'm willing to die to make sure you don't end up like her. I won't fail twice. Amma stared at her phone. at the photo of Rebecca Martinez, at Min Jun's words. Either he was telling the truth, he was trying to protect her from the same fate, or he was lying, and she was next. Her phone buzzed again. Different number, video attachment. She opened it. Security footage, a warehouse, Kofi, but not tied up anymore. Standing, talking to someone off camera, laughing, taking an envelope full of cash. The timestamp was from 3 days ago, before Amma had even met Min Jun at the restaurant. Then her brother's voice, clear as day. So she thinks she's saving me. Perfect. Keep the pressure on. She'll do whatever he asks. She's predictable like that. The video ended. Amma couldn't breathe, couldn't think, couldn't. Her brother, her baby brother, the one she'd sacrificed everything for, working with whoever was setting this up. She called Kofi's number. It rang, and Amma. His voice was different now. Harder. I guess you saw the video. Tell me it's fake. Tell me they edited it. Tell me I can't. He sighed. I'm sorry. I am. But they offered me $200,000 to play the victim, to make you think you were saving me, to get you close to Min Jun. Why? Her voice broke. Why would you do this to me? Because I'm tired of being the screw-up, tired of watching you sacrifice everything while I ruin everything. This was supposed to be easy money. Play along. You help Min Jun go legit. Everyone wins. His voice cracked. But now people are shooting at you and I didn't think it would get this bad. Who are you working for? I don't know. They contacted me anonymously. Paid half up front, half when the job's done. I never met them face to face. He was crying now. Amma, please, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, but you need to get out of there. Whoever's behind this, they don't want Min Jun to go legitimate. They want him dead, and they'll kill anyone around him to make it happen. Including me? Especially you, because he... Kofi stopped. Amma, he's falling for you. Anyone can see it, and that makes you the perfect weapon. Get close, make him trust you, then destroy him when he's vulnerable. I would never, but they think you will, or they'll make it look like you did. Either way, you're the bomb they're waiting to detonate. Her brother's voice was desperate now. Please, run. Tonight. I'll help you. I'll give back the money. We'll disappear. Just, please don't stay with him. Amma hung up. She sat in that safe house, surrounded by guards who might be protecting her or might be her jailers, with a phone full of messages from people who all claimed to be telling her the truth, and she realized something terrifying. She didn't know who to trust. Min Jun said he was protecting her, but Rebecca Martinez was dead. Ji-woo said she was honest, but Ji-woo wanted Min Jun for herself. Kofi said run, but Kofi had betrayed her for cash. The mysterious texter said Min Jun was dangerous, but that texter might be the one trying to kill them both. Everyone was lying, or everyone was telling the truth, or some terrible combination of both. Her phone buzzed. Min Jun. I'm coming to you. Tonight. We'll talk. I'll explain everything. And then you'll decide. Trust me or run. But Amma, know this. If you run, you won't get far. Not because I'll stop you, because whoever's doing this won't let you live once you're not useful anymore. Your only chance of survival is with me. Together. I know you don't believe that yet, but by morning I'll make you believe it. Wait for me. MJ. Amma looked at the locked door, the guards, the windows with hidden bars, the phone full of lies and truth she couldn't untangle, and she made a decision that would either save her life or end it. She texted back, I'll wait. But Min Jun, if you're lying to me, if Rebecca died because of something you did, if I'm just another pawn, I'll destroy you myself. I'm not her. I won't die quietly. His response was immediate. Good. I don't want you quiet. I want you fighting. I want you alive. I want you to survive this even if I don't. That's the difference between you and Rebecca. I didn't love her. But you... The message cut off. 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. Then, I'll see you tonight. Don't open the door for anyone else. The dots disappeared, and Amar sat in that beautiful cage, bleeding from a dozen cuts, watching the sun set over San Francisco, and wondered which version of tonight ended with her free, and which version ended with her dead. Because one thing was clear now, someone was going to die before this was over. She just didn't know if it would be her, Min Jun, or whoever was pulling the strings that had turned her entire life into a weapon. But she was done being a pawn. Tomorrow, she started playing chess. Min Jun arrived at midnight. Amma heard the guards' voices change, respectful, alert, before she heard his footsteps. Then the door opened, and he was there, still in the blood-stained suit from this morning, exhaustion carved into his face, but alive. Whole. Their eyes met across the safe house living room, and something passed between them. Relief, recognition, the acknowledgement that they'd both survived another day in a world trying to kill them. Leave us. He didn't look at the guards. Wait outside. They hesitated. Sir, protocol says... I said leave. They left. The door closed. Locked, and suddenly they were alone in a silence so heavy it pressed against Amma's chest. Show me your arms. Min Jun moved toward her. Show me proof you didn't kill Rebecca Martinez. He stopped. Something flickered in his eyes. Pain, old and deep. I can't prove I didn't kill her. I can only tell you what happened. Then tell me. Min Jun sat on the coffee table in front of her. Close. Rebecca was brilliant. Stanford grad student like you. International finance like you. I hired her 2 years ago to help me start the legitimate transition. She was good. Too good. She found things in my accounts I didn't even know were there. Patterns. Connections to people I'd cut ties with years ago. He ran a hand through his hair. She found proof that someone on the Korean council was embezzling from my operations. Millions. She brought it to me. Said we should expose them. What did you do? I told her to bury it. Told her going after council members was suicide. She was young, idealistic. She didn't listen. His voice got rough. She went to them directly, threatened to expose them if they didn't return the money. 3 days later, her car went off Highway 1. Single vehicle accident. No witnesses. You think they killed her? I know they did. Found the brake line had been cut. Staged to look like an accident, but the police closed the case. Council has people everywhere. He looked at Amma. I failed to protect her. Failed to make her understand how dangerous the truth can be in my world. And she died because of it. And you think I'll end up the same way? Not if I can stop it. He reached for her hands. She pulled back. Amma, I've made a lot of mistakes. Manipulated your brother's debt. Forced you into this. Kept secrets. But I'm trying so damn hard to make sure you don't become another Rebecca. Then tell me the truth. All of it. Who's behind this? Who wants you dead? Who's using me? I don't know yet, but I have theories. He pulled out his phone, showed her files. The council, the triads, the Bratva, my father's old enemies. Take your pick, they all want me gone. Why now? Why bring me into it? Because someone figured out I was trying to go legitimate, and they realized the best way to stop me was to put someone I'd trust close enough to destroy me from the inside. His eyes were black in the dim light. They just didn't count on one thing. What? Me falling for you for real, not as part of a plan, not as strategy. Just falling. He moved closer. Which makes you the most dangerous person in my world. Because I'd burn everything down to keep you safe, and they know it. Don't. Amma stood. Put distance between them. Don't say things like that. You don't know me. It's been 3 days. You can't. Been watching you for 3 months. I know you put hot sauce on everything. I know you study best at 3 a.m. I know you call your mother every Sunday at 6 p.m. I know you cry during commercials with dogs. I know you're terrified of failure, and you die before letting anyone you love get hurt. He stood. I know you, Amma, and knowing you ruined me. You're insane. Probably. He was in front of her now. But I'm your kind of insane, because you feel it too. Don't lie and say you don't. She couldn't lie. Not when he was this close, not when her body was betraying her, leaning toward him like he was gravity. My brother betrayed me for money. Jiwoo hates me. Someone's trying to kill us both. And you're standing here talking about feelings like we're not in the middle of a war. Feelings are the only real thing in war. His hand came to her face. She didn't pull away this time. Everything else, money, power, territory, it's all just noise. But this, what I feel when I look at you, that's real. That's worth fighting for. Even if it kills us both. Especially then. He leaned closer. Because I've been dead inside for 15 years, and you made me want to live again. So if we die trying to survive this, at least I died feeling something. Amma's breath caught. You're going to break my heart. Probably. But I'll put it back together after. I promise. His forehead touched hers. Trust me. Just for tonight. Tomorrow we can go back to not trusting anyone. But tonight, trust me. She did. God help her, she did. When he kissed her, it felt like falling and flying all at once. Like every terrible decision she'd ever made led to this moment. His hands in her hair, her hands fisted in his bloody shirt. The taste of whiskey and violence and something that felt dangerously close to hope. They didn't make it to the bedroom. Couch, desperate, urgent, like they were both drowning and this was air. When he whispered her name against her skin, it sounded like a prayer. When she dug her nails into his back, he groaned like she was killing him and saving him all at once. After, they lay tangled together on that couch, her head on his chest, his hand stroking her hair, both of them pretending the world outside that safe house didn't exist. 3 months from now, Minjun said quietly. When this is over, when I'm legitimate and you're safe, I'm taking you to Napa, to my vineyard, just us. No guards, no threats, just wine and sunset and time. You really think we survive 3 months? We have to, because that future, that's the first one I've wanted in 15 years. He kissed her forehead. And I'm not giving it up without a fight. Amma's phone buzzed. She ignored it. It buzzed again and again. Check it. Minjun's voice was tense. Something's wrong. She grabbed her phone. 7 missed calls, 12 texts, all from Jiwoo. Call me now. Minjun isn't answering. Emergency. The council knows about her. They're moving. Tonight. Get out. Both of you. Now. Amma showed Minjun. He was on his feet instantly, pulling on clothes, grabbing his gun. We need to move. What's happening? Jiwoo wouldn't sound that panicked unless... His phone rang. He answered. Talk. Whatever Jiwoo said made his face go white. How long? Pause. Fuck. Okay, we're leaving now. He grabbed Amma's arm. Get dressed. We have maybe 10 minutes before... The windows exploded. Not bullets this time. Flashbangs. Smoke. Men in tactical gear pouring through doors and windows like a flood. Not police. Not FBI. Korean Mafia Council's private security. Minjun fired twice. Dropped 2 of them. Then something hit him from behind, and he went down hard. Minjun! Amma screamed. Hands grabbed her, zip-tied her wrists, a hood over her head. She fought, kicked, bit someone who howled. Sedate her! A voice in Korean, a needle prick in her neck. The world tilted, spun, went dark. Amma woke up to white ceiling tiles, hospital smell, beeping monitors. Her hands were free, but there was an IV in her arm, and her hand went to her stomach. Flat, then lower. Bandages, soreness. No. A nurse appeared. Korean, middle-aged, kind eyes. You're awake. Good. How do you feel? What happened to me? You were brought in 3 weeks ago, unconscious, severe dehydration, malnutrition, and the nurse's expression softened. You were pregnant, about 3 weeks, but you miscarried. I'm so sorry. Amma's world stopped. Pregnant. Miscarried. 3 weeks ago. Where's Minjun? I don't know who that is. You were brought in by federal agents. They've been waiting for you to wake up. The nurse squeezed her hand. You're safe now. That's what matters. The door opened. FBI agent. Woman. 40s. Expensive suit. Miss Darko, I'm Special Agent Chen. We need to talk. Where is he? Minjun Choi is in federal custody, awaiting trial on racketeering, money laundering, and conspiracy charges. Agent Chen sat. You've been unconscious for 3 weeks. The council's men who took you. We intercepted them, took you into protective custody. You're safe. I want to see him. That's not possible right now, but Ms. Darko, we need your testimony. Everything you saw, everything you know, you're the key to bringing down not just Minjun, but the entire Korean Mafia Council in San Francisco. Testify, and we can protect you. Stay silent, and you go down with him. I need to see him first. Agent Chen sighed. You're not hearing me. He's done. His organization is done. Your testimony determines if you walk away free or spend 20 years in prison as an accessory. She pulled out photos. These are the men who kidnapped you. Council enforcers. They were going to kill you. He couldn't protect you. We did. So think very carefully about where your loyalty lies. Amma stared at the photos. At the agent. At the future she didn't choose. I need time. You have 48 hours. Then we need an answer. Agent Chen left. Amma lay in that hospital bed, her hand on her empty stomach, and cried for the baby that never was. For the man in custody who'd promised her safety and delivered chaos. For the life she'd had 3 weeks ago before everything exploded. Her phone, they'd returned her things, buzzed. Text from unknown number. You survived. Good. Now you get to choose. Testify and live free, or stay silent and burn with him. But know this. The baby you lost, that wasn't an accident. The council made sure of it. They didn't want Minjun's half-black child existing, so they made certain it didn't. Still want to protect him. A friend. Amma stared at the message until her vision blurred. The baby, their baby, murdered before it could even be born. 3 days later, Amma sat across from Agent Chen and made her choice. I'll testify, but I have conditions. Name them. My brother gets full immunity. I want protection for my family, and I want... Her voice broke. I want to see Minjun. One time. Before the trial. I need to look him in the eye when I tell him what I'm doing. Agent Chen considered. Done. Supervised visit. 15 minutes. That's it. Amma nodded. And 3 days later, she sat in a federal prison visiting room, hands shaking, waiting for the man she'd fallen for in 3 days, and lost everything for to walk through that door. When he did, hands cuffed, prison jumpsuit, bruises on his face from fighting whoever had put him here. Their eyes met and she saw everything: love, betrayal, understanding, resignation. You're testifying. Not a question. Yes. They told you about the baby. Yes. Tears streamed down her face. Did you know? That you were pregnant. I suspected. That they'd... His voice broke. No. I found out when they told me you'd miscarried. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. For what? You couldn't stop it. You couldn't save them. You couldn't save me. I know. That's what I'm sorry for. He leaned forward as far as the chains would let him. Testify, Amma. Save yourself. Walk away. Live the life I couldn't give you. And you? 18 months, probably. Maybe more. But you'll be free. That's all that matters. Don't. She was sobbing now. Don't act noble. Don't act like this doesn't destroy you. Because it destroys me, all of it. I know. He tried to reach for her. Couldn't. The chains wouldn't let him. But in another life, in the one where I met you in that cafe and asked you out like a normal person, we would have worked. We would have had that baby. We would have had that vineyard in Napa and Sunday mornings and a lifetime. Don't. I love you. I know it's insane. I know it's impossible. But I love you. And that's the only real thing that came out of this nightmare. The guard called time. 15 minutes up. Minjun stood. Live, Ama. That's all I ask. Live enough for both of us. She watched him walk away. Watched the door close. Watched the future that never was disappear. And 6 months later, she stood in that courtroom and testified. Told them everything. Watched Minjun get sentenced to 18 months in minimum security, the best deal his lawyers could negotiate with her testimony. Love is, if your heart is breaking right now, if you're feeling every bit of Ama's pain, if you're wondering how love can survive when everything's been destroyed, hit that subscribe button. Because this story, it's not over. I know you're surprised about the miscarriage twist. Ama just testified against the man she loves. Their baby is gone. Minjun is in prison, but someone's still pulling strings. That mysterious friend isn't done, and tomorrow Minjun walks out of prison. Part 2 is coming, and you need to know if love can survive betrayal, if Ama's testimony actually freed her, and who's been playing them both from the beginning. Comment below. Would you have testified to save yourself? Or would you have stayed silent and gone to prison with him? Let me know. Now let's finish this. The day before Minjun was supposed to be released, 18 months of counting down days, of letters she wrote but never sent, of trying to forget and failing, Ama got another text. He's getting out tomorrow. The council doesn't forget. Neither do I. Run or stay. Your choice. But if you stay, you'll finally learn the truth about who's been pulling strings. And trust me, Ama, you're not going to like it. A friend. Ama stood outside the federal prison the next morning, watching Minjun walk through those gates into sunlight, watching him see her standing there, watching his expression shift from shock to something she couldn't name. He crossed to her, stopped 3 feet away. You shouldn't be here. I know. It's not safe. I know. This can't work. I know. She stepped closer. But I'm here anyway. And I'm not leaving until you tell me the truth about who's been texting me, about who's been pulling strings, about what really happens now. Minjun's jaw tightened. You want the truth? All of it. Fine. But not here. He looked around. Because whoever's been watching us, they're watching right now, and what I'm about to tell you is going to change everything. He walked to a car Ama didn't recognize. Got in. Looked at her through the window. Coming or running? Ama looked at the prison behind him, the freedom ahead, the choice between safe and true. She got in the car, and as they drove away into San Francisco's morning light, neither of them knew if they were driving toward answers or into the trap that had been waiting for them all along. But they were together, and sometimes that was enough to face whatever came next, even if whatever came next destroyed them both.